So this game is another example of why I hate TvT. The game is really decided when he comes with Banshees and you have no turrets and no Vikings, and you lose, 20 workers, and that's the end of the game. And then everything that happens after there is you fighting from a position where you have basically no economy and a much smaller army. And the game goes on for another 20 minutes or something. It's ridiculous. So all of these, positional battles happen, and there's advice that can be given, and so on and so forth. But the game really ended when you just didn't have turrets for his Banshees. So it's just like mutas. You always need a turret by 10 minutes, or else you can lose the whole game to getting hit with mutas when you don't have turrets. And the same thing goes for Banshees. You should get, a turret here and a turret here before 6.5 minutes or 7 minutes, depending. I mean, in your league, probably 7 minutes is what I would go for. And if you do that, you're just completely immune to Banshees, And so not doing that means you lose the game, and doing that means you win the game, and that's the end, So let's talk about some other stuff, because obviously we know why you lost this game. First, this positioning. You made a wall in, and then you're adding the 2 add-ons. I like the build, the order in which you're making these buildings, but the positioning is ridiculous. This is TvT. He doesn't have zealots or whatever the hell they're called, zerglings. You don't need to wall in. I like to wall in to prevent Hellions, but I would never put a reactor core as part of my wall in. I mean, not never, but it just seems wrong. You're putting all this real estate right here on your ramp. Now, your ramp is already, you're dead if he gets to your ramp kind of thing. Because if he puts tanks right here in range of your ramp, then you can no longer move M&M from your high ground to your low ground, and then you just lose, right? So, there's something to be said for it doesn't matter what I put at my ramp, because if he gets there, I lost the game already. I'm trying to defend this ramp, not my main ramp, and that's true. But still, I mean, come on, you're throwing a bunch of valuable and easy to kill stuff right where he has to come in order to get to your base. It just seems suicidal. I would put these racks back here with the factory, or use them to make a what's it called, fortress wall in, Put a supply depot here, and a racks here, and a racks here. And then the factory here, and a supply depot here, and a supply depot here, and now you can't get into your mineral line, and you can lower supply depots and raise them to let your own crap in and out and whatever. Last game, the reason you lost was you didn't put a tank and a bunker in front of your expo, so I'm glad to see that you did it this game. But now you're going to lose because it's 8 minutes in and you haven't built any turrets, and you don't even have an engineering bay, you don't have a starport, you have nothing at all to deal with Banshees. So Banshees come and you just lose. And you deserve to lose if you don't have anything to deal with Banshees at 8 minutes. I mean, Banshees are a really common strategy, very common. And this guy actually came with extremely late Banshees. Like, normal Banshee timing is 6.5 minutes for gas first and 7 minutes for mineral first. And he came all the way at 10 minutes. Like, if you're getting caught off guard by 10-minute Banshees, something is seriously wrong. So I think that you're just trying to use the same build against Protoss as you use against Terran, and that against Protoss you don't need turrets. And so when you played Terran, you didn't get turrets, and now he killed 12 workers. And before he killed 12 workers, you were way ahead on income. You had 47 workers on 2 bases to his 30 workers on just barely getting his second base up. But now he did all that economic damage, and he's going to throw down a quick third, and just tides are going to turn. Tides are going to turn. So before the 10-minute Banshee harass, your army spending was let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. Plus 23 is 3,000, and his army spending was 1,300 plus probably cloak and maybe stim. Yeah. So you were significantly ahead of him on army anyway, and you were way ahead of him on income, and you were in a great position for this game. And then you just walked in with Banshees, and the game ended. So again, it's just like last game. You were doing great. You had more money than him. You had a bigger army than him, and you just lost to a gimmick. You weren't prepared for the attack that came. And this is the same thing. And this is the type of game that you want to lose. You want to say, my macro is better than yours and I just lost because I forgot something stupid. Because eventually you're going to have played enough games where you're not forgetting stupid things anymore. And then the fact that your macro is way better than people is just going to win you games outright. So it's totally cool to lose for this reason. Just try not to do it again. I'm not really going to talk about the rest of the game. I'm just going to fast forward to the next battle, which happens up here somewhere. By the time this next battle happens, like, your income is tiny compared to his, just a little tiny fraction of his. Your army is bigger than his, and you make the silly mistake. Like, your goal right now is to get tanks here, 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 and here. Get air superiority floating over here, like Vikings floating over here, and a big hunk of M&M on the left and on the right of this tank force. But your tanks, if they die, your whole push is pointless, because you can't kill his army with M&M. He's got more M&M than you. So you really need your tanks to be very far behind your Marines, because your Marines have a 5 range, and your tanks, when sieged, have, I think, 13 range. So if you have a Marine right here, you can have a tank way over here that's hitting the same thing the Marine is hitting. So you want your M&M way out in front. So I believe you scanned. No, you didn't. So you should get an idea of what's up front. I would usually fly this Viking up a little bit just to get an idea of what's out there, what I'm expecting, because you never want to walk into tanks that are pre-sieged. And then figure out where his army is, where the edge of his vision is. In this case, the edge of his vision is right here. So then you want to get your tank sieged outside of his vision, and then move your M&M into his vision, and then, you know, keep vision over here and slowly push your tanks up and that kind of thing. So what you do instead is you walk your tanks up completely naked and just let him kill them. So that's kind of crap. So he's going to walk a million zillion tanks down here, and you've got your M&M all tightly packed in a ball. His tanks are going to just stomp the crap out of your M&M, and you're going to lose tons of it, and then you're going to fall back behind your tanks, which is silly because your tanks are what you're trying to protect with your M&M. And so he kills off some of your tanks, and now you've lost a whole bunch more than him, and that's the end. So before that engagement, you had a much bigger army than him. After that engagement, you still have a bigger army than him, but most of it is back in your base. You've got 8 Marines in your bunkers. You've got 2 tanks right here. You've got a ton of M&M over here and Vikings over here. So, and 2 more Vikings up here. So I think you could have actually won the game right at this point. Because he had you got here when his tanks were on the high ground, which is the same mistake that you made last time when your opponent killed you. So if you'd come up here, he's forced to siege his tanks, and then you start building a siege line along the bottom, knocking down the close by tanks and just ignoring the far back ones. Keep Viking air superiority, and then inch up so that you can hit these guys. He has to lift this base off, and then you can just contain him at his ramp and send a small group of M&M to lift this expo, and then you win. You had a bigger army than him. You had a good composition. You had a bunch more Vikings than him, a bunch of M&M with stim and everything, and a reasonable number of tanks. He had more tanks than you, but I mean, having more tanks is good, but it's not. You can't like win the world just by having more tanks. So the main problem is that you attacked him without bringing your army with you, and this is something that, you know, a lot of people lose games for this reason. If you have a $4,400 army and you only have about 1,500 of it at his base, what's the point? You're suiciding half your army and leaving the other half of your army back at home, and that's just silly. So I would say don't even look at this game because you lost due to not having turrets when Banshees came, and that's ridiculous. Just from now on, make turrets. But you did have a second chance to win right here, and you lost just because you didn't bring your stuff with you. So I don't know why you left all this stuff back home. It was probably just a mistake, but that mistake cost you the game, buddy. So after this, he's just going to walk up and crush you, and that's the end. Nothing really left to say.